when meeting people who could be a potential spouse, here is a young woman who is introduced to a young man, and they're meeting each other, and for the first time or second time or 10th time, what questions should we ask? I think, questions are important. However, every human being, and I'm not saying people will become hypocrites. No, we will not show or behave or say things that would obviously automatically discredit us or defame us. In fact, we're very upset when other people defame us, and that is why the whole concept of ghiba is there, for you to not say things which are even true about somebody while they are not there to defend themselves. So asking questions is important. For example, let me give you a list of questions, and then after that, I'd like to tell you other ways, other methods that you can use in order to read someone without having to really ask them a question. So amongst the questions that are important, for example, is what will happen after we get married? What will happen to me as a person if you're trying to pursue your education, if you're trying to continue a professional career, if you are trying to relocate, if you have certain expectations. For example, you have to move in with my parents. We have to visit my parents every single day. You have to cook and clean for my parents. Those things should be said right in the beginning, because I know many marriages that fail because after marriage, the guy basically turns his wife into a maid for his mother, and that is unacceptable. And of course, the religion does not require her to do that. So amongst the questions is, does this person pray? Many people look at the exterior of this person and think that, well, he comes from a religious family and he must pray. But then later on, they figure out that this person doesn't ever pray. Or, for example, the use of alcohol or drug abuse or things like that, of that nature. However, I'll tell you a different way for you to be able to determine a person, and that is how they behave with those who they must respect. For example, how do they behave? How does she behave with her mom? How does she behave with her dad? How does she behave with her siblings? Those are the closest people to this person. Those are people who, we must all love. They are our family. So if I behave with disrespect towards them, then I'm most likely going to be disrespectful towards my family members later on, whether it's my wife or my children or my father-in-law or my mother-in-law, and so on and so forth. If I'm generous today, then that means I'll continue to be generous. If I'm somebody who is caring and loves family and loves to spend quality time, then most likely that trend, that quality, that characteristic is going to remain within me after I get married. How I speak to my mom, how I speak to my dad will determine how I'm going to end up speaking to my wife. So some people will see, there's a girl, she's beautiful, and when, she's meeting her potential spouse, she will be very kind, she will be, very courteous, very polite. But let's say she meets her mom, or she receives a call from her mom or her dad. Look at the way that she's going to be speaking to them and engaging with them. That will tell you what's going to come next after you get married. Or similarly, if, you're a girl and this guy is sweet talking you the whole time, but when he refers to his family, or he refers to his loved ones, or he speaks to them, or he engages with them, he's not respectful. Those are things that we have to look for in individuals. Today, with the presence of social media, who are the friends of those individuals? How do they act? Tells you a lot about their perspective on life and what it is that they're trying to achieve in life, and whether they can be a potential spouse for you.